Hey guys, it's Nick from Pick MMA and I'm back with another video for this weekend. We have Vicente Luque coming back after about a year off. He's going to be going up against Dos Anjos, who used to be a natural 155er, but he's moving back to 170 now, and he's going to be fighting Vicente Luque, who's a very well-rounded fighter, has all the skills, has the grappling, has jiu-jitsu, has all the tools to get the win here as an underdog. Anyways, guys, let's look at the quick recap for last weekend. So I did switch my I ended up switching the first fight of the night, which was Almabaya versus Ode Osborne. I just had a feeling that Almabaya was gonna be able to get it done by submission because we have seen that Ode Osborne, he's given up his neck 3 times before, and now he gave it up again last Saturday. Just easy, quick rear naked choke. Then for the second fight of the prelims, I took a shot on the underdog, who's making his UFC debut on short notice. But I think the reach and the height and the lack of preparation was the problem here for Dennis Bazooka. But I think this dude is tough, man. I think if he had a full camp, he'd probably do a lot better. I'm hyped to see him come back. I hope they give him a full camp in his next fight, and I hope he can bounce back and get a win. He trains out of Cerro Longo fight camp, so I think Longo and Weidman MMA fight camp. Yeah, so he's got potential for sure. And then for the third fight of the night, I took Cody Durden. A lot of people were in Jake Hadley here. I was almost switching over to Jake Hadley because of how dangerous this guy is. But man, Cody Durden is no joke. People gotta stop sleeping on Cody Durden. Like only 19% people in Tapology had Cody Durden. And then for the fourth fight, we had Billy Quarantillo. He wasn't able to get the knockout, but he was able to dominate him in the striking and get a win. Damon Jackson, I mean, he won the first round easily, dominated Billy Quarantillo, but he just didn't have the strength and the cardio to keep pushing the pace for the next 10 minutes on Billy Quarantillo. So Billy Quarantillo was able to defend some takedowns, land some strikes on the feet, hurt Damon Jackson on the feet. But yeah, so good win for Quarantillo. I'm glad he bounced back. And then we had Carlston Harris making a crazy comeback. Like, this comeback was insane. Like, Wells was controlling the whole fight. He was up 2 rounds to 0. Carlston Harris was on the brink of losing this fight, but then Jeremiah Wells makes the stupid mistakes, gives up his neck easily to Carlston Harris, who wraps up an anaconda choke and puts Jeremiah Wells to sleep. This dude is dangerous, man. Carlston Harris is super dangerous. And then for the next fight, we had Kyler Phillips versus Barcelos. I was gonna go with Barcelos at first, but then seeing his age at 36, 37, like, you just can't be competing at almost 40 years old at bantamweight. You need to have speed at 135. Speed is the most important. But man, Kyler Phillips, man, I hope he improves on his cardio. But he was looking good in the first 2 rounds, but then the last round he was barely surviving. Barcelos was putting it on him in the last round. I'm glad Barcelos, I mean, he's not chinny, so that at least we found out Barcelos ate a big head kick and he didn't go down. So we know that a Barcelo is not chinny. I think Barcelos, if they match him up with a good newcomer to the UFC, I think Barcelos can bounce back and get a win. I wonder what the UFC is gonna do with Barcelos next. Who they're gonna match him up with. I think he's on a 2-fight skid right now. He's on a 2-fight losing streak right now. And then we had the next fight. We had Ludovic Klein versus Ignacio Bahamondes. I was all over Bahamondes. I thought Bahamondes was gonna wipe the floor with the Ludovic Klein, but man, Mr. Highlight, Ludovic Klein is the real deal, man. I'm still really high on Ignacio Bahamondes. I know he lost his fight. He got pretty much dominated. But the kid's young, man. He's only 25 years old. He's going to improve. There's still a long time to go for Ignacio Bahamondes to improve. I think he's going to have to really, like, if he really wants to take his UFC career serious, he's going to have to go and get his wrestling going. Like, that's the big hole in his game, the wrestling. Even on the striking, I mean, Ludwig Klein was hitting him, catching him, dropped him a couple times. I think he dropped him like once or twice. Man, that's what happens when you're worried about the takedowns. The wrestlers, they start hitting you with their hands, and that's what happens when you're worried about the shot of the takedown. The wrestlers, they start touching you up on the face. Anyways, guys, let's move to the next fight on the main card. We had Tanner Boser versus Alexa Kamur. I just couldn't trust Tanner Boser because he kept losing, making bad fight IQ decisions in mid-fight. But this fight was really favorable for Tanner Boser because Alexa Kamur doesn't throw in combinations. This dude only throws like one shot at a time. But man, Tanner Boser he was dominating Alexa Kamur. Kamur has a crazy chin, and that's the only reason that I went 3 rounds, because Alexa Kamur is so tough and so durable. And then for the next fight, we had Diego Lopez versus Gavin Tucker. And man, Gavin Tucker coming back after over 2 years. He looked alright. I mean, he was landing some body kicks in the first minute, but then he went for a lazy takedown, I think, and then Lopez just grabbed that neck and wrapped it up real quick. It was an armbar, yeah. I think it was an armbar submission. Let me see. Was it an armbar? Yeah, it was a. I'm not sure if it was an armbar. Yeah, he broke his arm. That's all I remember. Gavin Tucker broke his arm because Diego Lopez, he mounted him. I mean, this kid's got potential. I can't wait to see who the UFC matches him up against next. I think Diego Lopez, if he can keep improving, I think he can definitely be someone to keep an eye on. He can be one of the contenders, man. I really do think so. Alright, guys, let's move to the next fight on the main card. We had Justin Jacoby versus Kennedy Nzechukwu. Man, I was wrong on those picks. Justin Jacoby looked real good. Kennedy did make some mistakes in the start. He used pressuring Justin Jacoby and just walking him down. Didn't have any respect for Justin Jacoby's counter striking ability, and he got countered, man. That's what happens. I thought this was the early stoppage a bit. I thought the referee could have let it go a little bit, maybe, because we've seen Kennedy survive before when he gets hurt many times and come back and get the win. But man, that's on Kennedy. Not every referee is gonna keep letting you go when you're hurt. That's depends on every referee. Anyways, guys, let's move to the co-main event. We had Tatiana Suarez versus Jessica Andrade, and I picked Tatiana Suarez by first round submission. And I thought she could have got it done in the first round, but Jessica Andrade, man, she was still trying somewhat to win this fight, so I can't really fault Suarez she still got the submission in the second round, and the submission prop was plus money, plus 120, so that was easy money there. Let's move to the main card now. God damn it. Yeah, let's move to the main card. I had Corey Sandhagen versus Rob Font. And I told you guys, I gave you guys that same game parlay for Corey Sandhagen. Most significant strikes, most takedowns, over 1.5 rounds. I wanted to do over 3.5 rounds, but I was worried maybe Sandhagen finishes Font somehow. But man, Corey Sandhagen put on a clinic. 50-45, absolute domination, guys. Alright, guys, so that's we went 7-5, I think, overall. I took a shot on 2 underdogs, which is Kamur and Durden, Bazooka. So I could have been maybe 9 and 3 if I went with Sean Woodson, because I thought he was gonna win this fight, but I just took a shot with the underdog. Anyhow, guys, pretty good, 7-5. I'll take it. Alright, guys, let's move to the next fight. We have Vicente Luque going up against Rafael dos Anjos. Let's start from the first fight. On the prelims, we have Juliana Miller versus Luana Santos. And guys, I'm gonna go with the Juliana Miller. I think her competition level is much higher. Luana Santos, I mean, she got a finish in her last fight against some 3-0 girl, but man, Juliana Miller, she's game opponent. She's not gonna just let Santos come in there and beat her up. I think people are sleeping on Juliana Miller. I haven't seen enough from Luana Santos. This is her UFC debut, so I want to see how she does in this fight, and then maybe next time she fights, I'll take her in that one. But for now, I'm gonna go with Juliana the Killer Miller at plus money, plus 120. Let's go to the next fight. On the prelims, we have Damon Blackshear versus Jose Johnson. Man, Jose Johnson, I think he got slept by Marna Martinez. Yeah, the guy that fought Dricus Duplessis' buddy. What's his name? Damn it, I can't remember the name. But anyhow, I think Blackshear is gonna win this fight easily. I think he's gonna light him up on the feet and defend some takedowns. If Johnson does go for takedown, Johnson does have some KO power, but I don't think he's gonna be able to get it done against a veteran like Blackshear. I think Damon Blackshear is gonna find the finish here. I'm gonna say KO, TKO, Damon Blackshear by TKO. Alright, guys, let's move to the next fight. On the prelims, we have Montserrat Ruiz versus Jacqueline Amorim. I'm gonna go with Jacqueline Amorim. I'm not really looking to bet on this fight. I don't know who's really betting on Amorim after she choked big time in her UFC debut 3 months ago. She was like a 3 or 4 to 1 favorite. I think 2 or 3 to 1 favorite, and she absolutely blew the bag there. Anyhow, guys, I think Jacqueline is better than Ruiz everywhere. Ruiz hasn't fought in over 2 years, and we've seen fighters coming back after 2 years. Anyone other than John Jones or any other elite level fighter, if you're not a John Jones or elite level fighter, you're not gonna come back after 2 years and put on a clinic against your opponent. I think Jacqueline Amorim is gonna find the early submission here. Let's go Amorim by first round submission. Alright, guys, let's move to the next fight. On the prelims, we have Josh Parisian versus Martin Boudet. And I'm gonna go with Martin Boudet, man. This dude's always been winning me money since he's been in the UFC. I took him against Chris Barnett. He won me money. Took him against Lucas Bijeski. Won me money. I thought he lost that fight, but the judges gifted it to him anyhow. And then against Jay Collier, I betted him at I think it was pick'em odds. And I think, yeah, it was like pick'em minus 110 against Jay Collier. And now he deserves to be the favorite, rightfully. I mean, this dude hasn't lost in the UFC. And he's going to be going up against Josh Parisian, who barely throws volume. Doesn't throw enough volume. Does get hit, does get touched all the time. Look at this loss with Parker Porter. Donto Mays by knockout. Jamal Pogues. Like, come on, dude. Martin Boudet is going to win this fight all day. I'm going to say Martin Boudet by sloppy decision. Alright, guys, let's move to the next fight. On the prelims, we have Francis Marceau versus Isaac Dalgarian. Man, this kid Dalgarian seems like the real deal, to be honest. I think he's going to come in and find the early finish here. But man, Francis Marceau, man, he's got good experience. He's fought the much better competition. Even Marcelo Rojo, I think that's a good win there, 16-8. I mean, but Bulgarian's only good opponent is TJ Burton, 7-2 guy. I mean, he's finishing these regional guys like in the first round. That's exactly what he's supposed to be doing. But Francis Marshall, he looked a bit off in the last fight against William Gomez. But man, I think Francis Marshall's gonna win this fight. I just don't think Isaac Delgarian has fought the best competition. If he is able to get a win over Francis Marshall, it would be huge for him. But I think Marshall is the rightful favorite here. Fought a much better competition. Look at this. Even this one, 24-30. That guy, Ray Trujillo's got, like 50 something fights. 54 fights. I mean, that's a lot of fights, man. Even though the guy has a negative record, that's still a lot of experience. And he beat him by unanimous decision. I think if you're gonna play Isaac Delgarian, I think it's gonna be quick finish by Delgarian in the first round. But I think the longer this fight goes, I think the more it's gonna favor Francis Marshall here. So that's why I'm gonna take Francis Marshall at -190 money line. I think Francis Marshall is gonna win by decision. I don't think he's gonna finish Isaac Delgarian. We have to see Isaac Delgarian's cardio. We gotta see him go. We're gonna see if he's gonna be able to go 15 minutes or not. We're gonna find out this Saturday, guys. That's my pick, Francis Marshall by money line. Let's go to the next fight on the prelims. We have Terrence coming back, making a quick turnaround. Like just 2 weeks ago. I mean, he fought like 3 weeks ago against Nazim Sadikov, and I think I picked Nazim Sadikov in that fight. I don't really remember, but yeah. Terrence McKinney should absolutely win this fight because of Mike Breeden, man. This dude is not good, not UFC level in my opinion. I think Terrence McKinney is absolutely UFC level. And but the only thing that worries me about Terrence McKinney is because this dude only has 5 minute cardio. If he's not able to finish you in the first 5 minutes, this dude just pretty much gives up his neck, gives up the KO, lets you walk him down, land on him. Like, that's Terrence McKinney. I don't know how people are taking him at 3-1 odds. This line should be like 2-1 at most. Anything higher than 2-1, I think the value is in Mike Breeden. But I do think Terrence McKinney is gonna get the quick KO or submission in the first round. So that's why I'm gonna go with Terrence McKinney by first round. I'm gonna go KO by first round KO. Alright guys, let's move to the next fight on the prelims. We have Marcus McGee versus JP Bays. JP Bays coming back after getting knocked out twice, man. So he's taken some time off. He's taken over a year off, which is good to see. That's what you want to see when fighters are getting chinned over and over. You want to see them take some time off and recover, you know. But man, this is a bad matchup for JP Bays. I will say that JP Bays does have a really good elite level grappling. But the thing that worries me about JP Bays is that chin, man. And we don't know if he's going to be able to take Marcus McGee down. I mean, look at the size here. JP Bays is 5'5". McGee is 5'8", with the 69-inch reach. It's only 2 inches in reach advantage, but the power, the durability of Marcus McGee, the takedown defense, that's the only thing that worries me, the takedown defense. But Marcus McGee should easily get a club and sub here. I think he's gonna knock him out. I think when Marcus McGee lands, I think JP Bays is gonna get stunned and the referee's gonna step in. I'm gonna go Marcus McGee by first round KO. Alright guys, let's move to the main card now. Hit the like button, subscribe, leave a comment below for your boy for the algorithm. Then we're gonna move on to the main card now. We have Josh Fremd versus Jamie Pickett. I'm shocked the UFC is putting Jamie Pickett in a main card. Even a UFC Fight Night main card. This dude does not deserve to be in the main card. He's been finished in his last 3 fights. Josh Fremd should win this fight. Jamie Pickett is very low volume, doesn't go for takedowns, This dude pretty much comes to the cage to collect a paycheck. He's not trying to get wild. I mean, this is his only chance, man. If Pickett loses this fight, I think the UFC is gonna kick him off the roster. Josh Fremd should win this fight. I think he's gonna maybe wrap up that neck and get a submission. I think Fremd is the rightful favor, but 3-1, man. I just can't lay that chalk. I'm not gonna lay 3-1 on a guy who got choked out by Trayson Gore. But Fremd should win this fight. He's the much better fighter, the younger fighter, the more volume guy, the guy who's gonna go for takedowns, relentless pressure. He's good durability. But Fremd does make some mistakes, man. If he comes here, Jamie Pickett knows that it's do or die for him. That this is it. If he loses this is over for him. This UFC fighting career is over for Jamie Pickett if he does lose this fight. So I would be wary, but I think Josh Fremd is gonna club and sub here. I'm gonna go Josh Fremd by round 2 submission. Okay, guys, let's move to the next fight on the main card. We have Tafan Chukwi versus AJ Dobson. And I'm going to go with Tafan Chukwi, man. I just can't trust AJ Dobson to go out there and throw enough volume. AJ Dobson is very durable, I will say that. On the other hand, Tafan Chukwi, I mean, he's been knocked out by back-to-back. But those two guys are very hard, powerful hitters. Carlos Oberg, Azamat Murzakanov, who's knocking down guys left and right. Even Carlos Oberg is knocking guys out. So I don't think it's a chin issue here for Tafan. I think Dobson is going to try to wrestle here. I think Tafan is going to touch him up over and over. He's going to be the minute winner in this fight. I hope Tafan is careful because Dobson does have that power to put you down, put you out. But man, Dobson, ever since his Contender Series, I know he's faced really good fighters. Arman Petrosyan should be a ranked fighter, in my opinion. And Jacob Malkoun is a pretty good wrestler, pretty good grappler, pretty good well-rounded fighter. But, Tafan was winning that fight against Azamat. He was up 2 rounds before he got flying kneed in that 3rd round. So Tafan is gonna have to be careful here, but being the better fighter, having the more volume, being the better striker, the only thing that worries me is the durability of Tafan Chukwi. But I'm still gonna pick Tafan Chukwi here. I think the much better fighter, he should be able to get it done by I'm gonna say he's gonna outstrike AJ Dobson and get a unanimous decision win. Okay, guys, let's move to the next fight on the main card. We have Pauliana Viana versus Yasmin Lucindo. Man, Pauliana Viana is a very good grappler, very good well-rounded fighter, good power in her hands. She knocked out Jinyu Ferre like in the 1st round, I think it was, like 8 months ago. Yeah. Lost to Tabitha Ricci. Tabitha Ricci is a very good fighter, pretty good pressure, good wrestling, so I'm not gonna hold that against her. Then I got a win over Mallory Martin, submission over Whitmore. These 2 wins I can't really, not the best wins over here, but the Jinyu Frey win is good. But this fight, I think Lucindo is the much better striker, the fresher fighter at 21 years old. Just insane. Like, the age gap in 10 years is absolutely crazy, but the thing that worries me, man, Lucindo has been submitted before. She's been choked out 3 times before, so that's the one thing that worries me. But I think it's been some time since she's been submitted, so I think she's got to be working on her grappling here. I think Yasmin Lucindo should be winning this fight, but the thing that worries me is if she goes for a takedown at the end of the round just to seal the round for her, like she did against Brogan Walker, I think Viana can Like, she's very dangerous off her guard, Pauliana Vienna, and she can lock in a submission real fast. I mean, there's a reason that she's got 8 wins by submission, 3 wins by submission in the UFC. She's finished all her 4 wins in the UFC. So that's something you gotta keep an eye on, guys. Like, Pauliana Vienna is no joke, and I think the lines should be a lot closer here. Yasmin Lucindo should win this fight, but I'm not gonna be betting on Lucindo here because Vienna. As long as this fight is still, anytime this fight goes on the ground, I think Vienna is live to get a submission. I might play Pauliana Vienna by submission if there's a good plus number on there, but pick is Yasmin Lucindo to win by decision. Okay, guys, let's move to the next fight. The featured fight on the main card. We have Khalil Roundtree going up against Chris Daukaus. And guys, Chris Daukaus moving down from heavyweight. He's been knocked out in his last 3 fights. Knocked out by Derek Lewis, knocked out by Curtis Blades, knocked out by Jorginho Rosenstrike. I think the problem with Chris Daukaus, man, he's always been a light heavyweight. I don't think he was ever really a heavyweight, because those guys, Jorginho Rosenstrike, Blades, and Derek Lewis, those guys have real heavyweight power. And when Daukaus is going out there and trading with these big monsters, and he just doesn't have that heavyweight frame to take those punches on the chin, you know. He gets put down every time. This fight, I think Khalil Roundtree doesn't hit as hard as Lewis, Blades, or Jorginho Rosenstrike, but what Roundtree does have is the speed. The speed at 205 is a lot different, man. And Roundtree, you have. It's not always like Roundtree's gonna show up, because against Marcin Prachnio, he just didn't show up. He just felt like he didn't want to fight against Marcin Prachnio. Just pretty much gave up that fight. And Khalil Roundtree can be taken down. Chris Daukaus does have a black belt in Jiu-Jitsu. So if this fight touches the ground, man, I think Daukaus is live to get a submission if he chooses to do so. And Chris Daukaus can also go for takedowns if he chooses to do so, but I just haven't ever seen Chris Daukaus go for takedowns or use his grappling in the fights. He pretty much wants to stand and bang. He wants to get those standing knockouts, put guys down. That's what he wants to do. And against a durable guy like Khalil Roundtree, who's got the speed, the power, and very durable himself, can eat one to land one. Whereas Chris Daukaus doesn't really have that durability that Roundtree has. I think Khalil Roundtree should win this fight. But man, I just can't trust Khalil Roundtree. Like, he's dropped the ball many times before. He got knocked out by Ian Cutelaba. If Ian Cutelaba is knocking you out, man, I think Chris Daukaus can also get it done. But this is so many questions in this fight. I think Roundtree should be the one who gets it done, but Daukaus is dangerous, man. Daukaus is dangerous. And now he's gonna be moving down to light heavyweight, where the guys don't hit as hard as the heavyweights. Let's see what happens, guys. But the pick is Khalil Roundtree, money line. Okay, guys, let's move to the co-main event of the evening. We have Cub Swanson versus Akeem Dawodu, and Cub Swanson, man, just an absolute legend of the UFC. He's 39 years old, I think, right now. Yeah, he's 39 years old. He's gonna be fighting much younger Hakeem Dawodu, who's 32 years old. So 6 years age gap, not crazy, not like a 10-year age gap, but still, man, that fight against Jonathan Martinez, it just looked like everything that Martinez was landing was hurting Cub Swanson in that fight. Against Giga Chikadze, I mean, he got kicked to the liver, I think it was, and he just dropped down. Like, Hakeem Dawodu, man, this dude's got power too, but he hasn't really shown it at this UFC level. I mean, this is a very favorable matchup for Hakeem Dawodu. I mean, the UFC pretty much wants to build him up here. He's a really big favorite here. I think overall, the better fighter is Cub Swanson with the more well-rounded skill set. But that speed's gone, man. Cub Swanson doesn't have the same speed or the durability at 39 years old. He's pretty much 40 years old. I think Hakeem Dawodu is gonna light him up on the feet. I think I'm gonna call Hakeem Dawodu by KO. Hakeem Dawodu by KO, by knockout. Okay, guys, we're at the main event of the evening. We have Vicente Luque going up against Rafael dos Anjos. Two absolute, like, really good, entertaining fighters, man. Vicente Luque, I mean, what can I say about Luque, man? This dude's always putting up entertaining fights. This dude is a finishing machine. He's finished 13 of his 14 wins in the UFC, which is absolutely insane. For him being in the UFC, as long as he's been in the UFC, to still finish 13 guys in the UFC level, I mean, that's not easy, man. He got knocked out for the first time against Jeff Neal, and he also has a injury, blood clot leak, I think, in his brain. But the doctors have cleared him now, so he should be okay here. I don't think the doctors would have let him fight if he wasn't 100% here. But man, I think Luque is gonna get this done. The age gap is huge. Dos Anjos is like 39 years old, 38 years old, or 40. Yeah, Dos Anjos is 38 years old now. So there's 60 years. I think. Yeah, there's a 7 years in age gap. And Luque is the more dangerous fighter. I think Rafael dos Anjos is going to try to wrestle, try to control dos Anjos. I think he might get him down in the first round or two. Get him down once or twice. Hold him down. But, man, when you're getting older at these lighter weight classes like welterweight, lightweight, it's not easy to hold these guys down when you're getting older, and you're not able to eat punches and still keep going. Like, that's the problem I have at Dos Anjos. I mean, he's been very durable in the UFC. He's had 33 fights in the UFC, which is unheard of. Like, only Cowboy, Matt Brown, and those guys have had more fights in the UFC, I think. But man, that's a lot of experience at the UFC level. But I think that his best days are behind him now. I think Luque, I think Luque is gonna defend some takedowns, and if Dos Anjos gets careless with his going for takedowns, I think Luque can wrap up that neck and submit him. Luque absolutely has that squeeze to sleep you with his submissions, and he has that KO power, man. Look at the KOs. This dude's got 11 KOs, 8 KOs in the UFC. Absolutely insane, man. I think Luque is gonna knock Dos Anjos out here. I think at plus 100, at plus money, I'll take Vicente Luque all day long. I'm gonna go with Luque by club and sub. I'm just gonna go club and sub. No, not club. I mean, Dos Anjos is not easy to club and sub. I'm gonna go KO, man. I think he's gonna knock him out. I don't think Dos Anjos has the power to keep Luque back down from him. Like, the only reason that Jeff Neal was able to beat Dos Anjos, Luque, was because he had more power and he had a good chin. That's the reason Jeff Neal was able to absolutely beat the crap out of Luque in that fight. But I don't think Dos Anjos has the tools. I don't think he has the frame that Jeff Neal has. I don't think he has the size. Dos Anjos used to be a lightweight fighting at 155. So, this Luque has a lot of ways to win this fight. and I think he's gonna get it done, guys. Guys, once again, hit the like button, subscribe. Let's get to 100 subscribers. That's my goal. Like the video, leave a comment below. Let me know who you're gonna be going with, who you're picking to win this main event of the evening. And I'm gonna be uploading the best bets video. I wanted to do Dana White Contender Series, but I was too busy, never really got around to it. I might start streaming soon for the Dana White Contender Series and some UFC events, maybe, just for fun. But yeah, subscribe, guys, if you haven't yet. And thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. Bye.